Okay, so the cleaning process has commenced. Did an initial degreasing on this wall here. These cabinets will be all coming out. All these items in bags. These are the tools that were found. We've got some paint down there, some hardware. That little toilet will be going. Debating on whether to get it functioning. There's kit. The one good thing, there's heaps of parts. These things are easily repairable. However, somewhere around about, let's say, $100, $150 max. And then on top of that, you've got the valves or the seacocks. So there's limited things you can do whilst you're on the water. So that's actually going to get removed, and we're just simply going to install our own composting system. Very simple, be a process of kitty litter and sawdust, which is easily available. Here's the forward berth. There's storage under there, but the plan is to actually remove all of this and create an open space and create more height. And probably have a quarter forward berth. Soon, not sure. Plans are to be able to utilize this as maybe a potential just storage space, maybe a sitting space, and potentially putting the toilet system on the other side of that bulkhead, and then having this potentially as a wet locker. But that's what we're up to. Everything is getting stripped out. All the shelving is getting stripped out. This bulkhead here needs to be either reinforced or replaced. Probably go with reinforcement. The idea is to, in this section, is to put 3 ribs running to either side, just to create more structural integrity. And ideally, I'd like to run that ribbing principle through this whole main cabin. All of that will be getting pulled out. This berth here will get pulled out. And then the idea with these quarter berths is to divide them into access here in through the cabin, a little cubby there, and then where the fuel tank is, and behind that will be access from the cockpit. Eventually the outboard will actually go outside of the boat because it's just losing a lot of space in the cockpit here. The bimini has been removed, so there's a lot going on with this little old boat. The tiller hinge and bolts, they need replacing. Good thing is, this little boat, it's sailable, but we really need to do some work. And one of the big projects, well, not too big, remove these tracks from from the sliding hatch. And then what will occur is we'll be raising these hatches up to about there. About there. And that means this whole section here can stay closed whilst being able to stand. So that's one of the easiest ways that I've seen to create headroom in your little sailboat. Otherwise, cutting all of this and then raising it is just a lot of work. A lot of work. Even to put a hard dodger and then to cut through here, you lose this whole structural integrity from the center panel, and it would mean having to potentially put verticals here to compensate for that being taken out. And yeah, save that for a bigger boat. Right now the plan is to have this little boat looking nice and tidy, nice and functional, very practical, easy to sail, easy to motor. It can be used as a liverboard. Ideally it's going to be a little traveller, a little travelling sailboat. It's just there's a lot of space there not being utilised. So that'll be access, and then all these electronics are going to get moved. So that's going to be a very learning job that is going to be. So yeah, there's some sails. That's my emergency sail. There's some wet weather gear that needs to be sorted, and there's the potential where this here can actually house a little diesel engine. But once again, putting a little diesel engine in there, that just adds another complexity rather than not have to deal with on this little boat, because then you need to cut out the cockpit. Anything where you start, I'm starting to cut fiberglass in the center. To me, that's in structural integrity. On the cockpit, see, it's not too, because most of the structural integrity is in here at the transom and then on the hull, and this can easily be battened up. Well, that's what you can see, the corrugations, so I'll work in between those corrugations there, or ridges, or they're called fairings. So that's where the strength is. So I'll be cutting between those to have access into the cockpit, into this berth, and then that'll go all the way down to the hull, so it's nice and deep. Then all wet gear can go into there, so that'll be great. Yes, lovely.